What's up everyone, it's that Math Magician, and on this video we're taking a look at functions, and we want to see, can we evaluate an input for a given function? And don't freak out just yet, this one has fractions. Fractions with two x's, one in the numerator, one in the denominator, but don't worry, we can handle it because we know what our inputs are. We just have to substitute in what x equals. The first time it's 3, the second time it's -5. We're going to input those into our function, then we just find its outputs. I promise you, it won't be too difficult. So let's go ahead and solve the first one. Our first one here, our x equals 3. So I'm going to rewrite this equation, but this time instead of writing that x variable, I'm going to write what x is. X here in this case is a positive 3. Whoops. But notice I'm going to write parentheses where all the x variables should go, because it's going to now change to a positive 3. And now, I know some of you are going, oh man, I hate fractions. Fractions are the worst. I don't feel comfortable doing this. Don't stress. Here's the secret to solving this, right? This right here looks complicated. But all you got to do is simplify the numerator, then simplify the denominator. And once you have both those two pieces simplified, so that they're just numbers on top of each other, then we can figure out what the output is. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to write my fraction bar. And now I'm going to simplify the numerator, the top part. Well, I have 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 is going to give us 9. And we still have the -1. Don't forget the -1. And well, 9 minus 1 is just 8. So that numerator simplifies to a positive 8. Not too scary. Okay, now we're going to simplify the denominator, the bottom part. And on the bottom part, we have 2 times 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. Now, I'm not going to change that 6 as I go down the next line. It still stays a 6. So I'm going to bring that down here, and I see that my answer ends up being 8 over 6. Now, 8 over 6 does reduce. It does reduce nicely into a nice fraction, 4/3. Or, if you wanted to be super fancy, you could also write it as a decimal, which would be 1.33333 repeating. Now, we are becoming mathematicians, right? We're becoming smarter in our math skills. We actually like to leave our answers in fraction form, right? The decimal is kind of ugly. We don't really like it. So instead, we'll leave it as f of 3 equals 4 over 3. That's how we solve these function problems. My input was 3. I put the 3's in for both those x values. Simplify the numerator, simplify the denominator, get my final answer as 4/3. Alrighty, now let's try another one now. But this time our input is -5. So we have a negative number here to deal with. But again, I promise you, not too scary. Again, rewrite that entire fraction. But I'm not going to write the x variable, because now I know that x equals -5. A brand new input, gonna figure out our brand new output. So again, we're gonna focus in on just the numerator, just the top part. And on the top, we have 3 times -5. Well, 3 times -5 is gonna give us -15. Don't forget the -1. That -1 is still there. And -15 minus 1 more is actually going to give us -16. I see a random dot there. I want to take it off. There we go. Alrighty, so the numerator is -16. Now let's do the denominator. The denominator is 2 times -5. And 2 times -5, well, that is just -10. Again, I'm going to bring it down one more line. And now we have this fraction, kind of like the last part, where we can simplify this. Because -16 over -10 does simplify. Now, the negatives are going to go away, right? A negative divided by a negative, those go away. So now we just have 16 over 10, and 16 over 10, I think 2 goes into both of those. So it's actually going to reduce to 8/5. So again, my final answer, we're going to write this part right at the beginning. F of -5 is 8/5. What that means is, when my input is -5, my output is 8 over 5. All right, really, really good job. Now, before you end this video, I want you to try one all on your own. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you your own input. For this problem, let's see you try f when our input x is actually, let's make it, I'm going to try to give you a trickier one. Why don't we do when it's 25? So now here's what I want you to do. Pause the video and now see, can you do this problem where you know your input is 25? What is your output going to be? So pause the video, try it on your own, and leave your answer in the comments below. And let's see if you get the right answer. It's That Math Magician, and I'll see you on another video.